Good morning, everyone. So, today we will present to you an interesting topic that is full of information that will be benefit for you. So, enjoy watching. So, in this section, we will present to you all the titles that are included in our topic for today. First, let's begin with the definition. When we heard a word sociolinguistic, two important terms catch our attention: socio and linguistic. So the socio, it refers to the society and its factor, whereas linguistic, it refers to the linguistic and its feature. Here are some definitions given by some researchers, and it concludes all the meaning of sociolinguistic. So, and it includes some keywords that I'm going to explain. So the first, we have language variation. Language variation is core concept in sociolinguistic, and the variation is a characteristic of language, that is to say that people do not use the same manner to say something. It can differ in pronunciation or in grammar or in the word choices, and the major factor that causes this variation are the codes, the dialect, register, etc. The second word is the attitude of language. Attitude about the language, it's dealt with the opinions that people used in order to express their ideas to the speaker with a full respect to the language. And the last word is stylistic and social variation. The stylistic variation is dealt with the variation at the level of individual speech, whereas social variation is the variation caused in language due to social factors that include age, gender, ethnicity, that we're gonna to see later on. So from the definitions given by the researchers, so we did use two important definitions of sociolinguistic. The first is that it is the subfield of linguistic that study the relation between the society aspect and the way that language is used. And the second is that the language and society are interrelated, because without society we cannot study such a feature of language. Now, far from the definition, Lake takes a remind about branch of sociolinguistic. So the first branch is sociolinguistic and language. Sociolinguistic is dealt with the study of language in relation to society. It means language and social factors. Whereas the linguistic, it is a field that make us aware about the structure of language. The second branch is sociolinguistic and sociology. Since sociology we defined it before, so here we will define sociology. So sociology is the study of society in relation to language, means is a social science that study how humans act in group, including their interactions and behaviors. And this is the differences between the two fields that people should make aware of it. And here we deal with the type of sociolinguistic. So sociolinguistic has two types: micro and macro sociolinguistic. The micro sociolinguistic, it is a branch of sociolinguistic, but it studies the smallest unit of language. It means the rules that we use in order to make a structure to language, whereas the macro, it's dealt with the society as a whole. It means it study it in relation between the mind and language, that includes psycholinguistic and neurolinguistic. Now, to the second title, we have this object study of sociolinguistic. So, with this point mentioned in this video, we summarize all these points that sociolinguistic is dealt by how language function in the society and how the people interpret messages differently to convey an appropriate meaning. Furthermore, sociolinguistic answers two important questions: who and which. The who, it refers to the listener and the speaker, whereas which is there it's used to know which language is used in the situation. It means if it is formal or informal one. In other words, sociolinguistic make us able to know the relation between how society and language affect each other. And the main point that we need to keep in mind that in social linguistic we do not focus on the personal experience because it is a limited source to speak or to draw a conclusion about how language is used in the society.
Now we pass to see the relationship between language and society, in which we will see both social factors and social dimensions. So this picture refers to different questions that comes to our mind about social factors. Here in the social factors we will introduce age, gender, social classes and ethnicity. First, let's begin with gender. In addition to this definition, gender shows the differences between male and female language due to the artificial behavior. The second variable is age. Is also one of the variables that affect language. It includes adolescents, children, adults, and old people. All of them do not use language in the same way and do not use the same form of it. And even their ability to learn language is different. That is to say that age can reflect changes in speech community. The third one is social classes, which means people of specific social class actually develop a variation of language that indicate that they belong to the social class. The fourth and the last one is ethnicity. In addition to this definition, ethnic groups view language as a part of their identity. The variety of the dominant language is called substrate language, while people language called adstrate language. Now, from these social factors, we deduce their role in the variety, and people will notice this variation by interacting with people from different ethnic backgrounds. This picture shows the statistics of the context that reflect to how language is used in society. These social dimensions is divided into 4 dimensions: social distance, formality, status, functional. Let's begin with social distance. I'm going to give you an example in order to understand it more. For example, in English language, a person may say, "What's going on? What's up?" to his friend, but when talking to someone strange, regardless of the stranger's status, may say something such as, "How are you?" The only changes is lack of intimacy with stranger. In the second dimension, we have status. It depends on the person that we are speaking, if he or she is close or strange. The third one is formality, which means that can be seen as the presence or absence of slang in presence communication. And finally, the functional dimension. As you see here, we have two functions, referential and affective. The first one refers to the use of facts, statistics, and directions, whereas affective refers to a feeling of someone toward topic like being upset. To sum up, the social dimensions of language can be used to know and to understand what is affecting how people communicate. After making points clear, let's conclude with importance of sociolinguistics. As we know, sociolinguistic is an important and popular around the world because through society we learn language which is considered as an act of identity to define ourselves. So, among these importances, we have development of communicative competencies, also dealing the consequences of language use in society. Moreover, it helps to know and understand about attitudes of people toward language. Finally, through this field, we will be able to understand different cultures of various countries and explain it for the future generation. Thanks for your attention. Goodbye.